welcome to Try Right. Today we will study about exception handling and its basics. What are exceptions? Exceptions are the interruptions that causes hindrance in the program. So it need to be handled because if the interruption is caused, we need to handle it or provide a way out of it. In Java, exception handling is done using try and catch block, try, catch, and finally block. This structure helps us handle runtime errors gracefully without catching the program, without any interruption in the program or without catching the program. Like try block, like we study try, catch, and finally block are the ways to handle exceptions. So we should learn about try block. Try block, they contain the that might throw an exception. They contains code that might throw an exception. Catch block, they handle the exceptions. One can have multiple catch block for different exception types. We can have different exceptions, so one can have multiple catch block. Finally block, that is optional. Finally block is optional, always executes after try and catch whether an exception occurs or not. It is used for cleanup, that is example closing files, database connections, etc. Even if the code is even if the code in the try block causes an error or has a return statements, the finally block will still executes because that's the rule of finally block, that it anyhow executes. So why we need try and catch block finally in the try, catch, and finally in our program? The reasons are to prevent crashes from unexpected runtime errors, to prevent crashes. Second is to handle specific errors, that is divide by zero, null pointer, file errors, etc. Now to guarantee cleanup using finally, we have to clean up the garbage and everything. That's why we need finally block to guarantee cleanup using finally. Now coming to task, we clarify our concepts. We'll move to the task. We will take the task as take the task of divide by zero. Take the task of divide by zero and handle division by zero using try catch block, because anything divided by zero, that will be infinity value, giving infinity value. But here if we divide by zero, you have to handle it by try catch block, like in this program here. Yeah, there is a class divide by zero. There is a class divide by zero example. Yeah. Now the main line of Java main method and the scanner class to take the input. Scanner class to take the input, we need to make the scanner object. Yeah. Here we are having try block. System.out.print, that is enter the numerator. There, because in every division we have numerator and denominator. So for numerator we are taking int numerator equals scanner.nextInt, and similarly for the denominator we are taking int denominator. Int numerator is equals scanner.nextInt and int denominator equals scanner.nextInt, because we are taking both the values as integer values. And now finally comes the result. Int result equals numerator by denominator, and finally we have to print the result. Finally we have to print the result, so we are writing here system.out.println result. Now suppose if there is divide by zero, if the denominator becomes to be zero, then there will be exception. So after try block, we have to open the brace. Now before catch block, after try block we have the catch block, but we have to rewrite all these things in a try block, in a block. It is a block of statement. We'll write this in curly brace. And now for the catch block, that is again to be written in curly brace. But before that catch block, we have the arithmetic exception, because you are doing mathematical calculations, exceptions. So exception will occur here, and that is a arithmetic exceptions. These exceptions are of type. Exceptions can be of type. That's why we are writing these as E. These type are E, arithmetic exceptions, and take the object as E, object or exceptions as E. Now system.out.println divide by 0, it will be returning divide by 0. And now there can be exceptions, there can be exception type of exceptions like E. If you have invalid input, or divide, it's not what we call that, if there will be no integers, suppose there is a string, so how can you divide that? That will be a problem. In that case, it will tell in system.out.println invalid input dot e dot get message, whatever the message you will apply, whatever the message you will give, that is e dot get message. And finally it will run anyhow the block will run, because if there is exception or not in action, no even exceptions, but the final block will run anyhow. So finally system.out.println program ended, it will always be executing there, and finally we started the scanner, so we need to close it. So it's done here. Now we are having the program here, we will run it, we will finding out the output and we will run it. We are running it and it's on the numerator, enter the numerator. Suppose you are writing 8, and now enter the denominator and denominator. Oh yeah, result is 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and the program ends, because this is finally block, program ended. Yeah, that is obviously shown here. Now we will again divide by 0. Now we are taking numerator at 9, enter, and denominator is 0. Now enter. Yeah, cannot divide by 0, because 9 divided by 0, that will be infinite value, so it is writing it cannot divide by 0. Yeah. And now coming on to this invalid input. We will try for invalid input. Suppose we are taking the numerator as null, or yeah, null, enter. Yeah, in the beginning only it is writing invalid input, e dot get message, either result of our object, and get message, that is null, because the numerator is not of kind of that can be divided. And finally it ran anyhow, and the program ended. Now coming on to next task, we will take a negative input checker. Suppose you have to input only positive values, so we are taking a negative input checker. Yeah, like here. Yeah, here we have the class named as negative input checker, and the scanner, we are taking all the inputs to the system, so we are taking a scanner class for this, and we are using try and catch block here also. So try we have system.out.print enter a positive number, and the number we are taking to the scanner, so scanner.extent. If number is less than 0, if number will be less than 0, then it will be a negative number, so it will throw argument exceptions enter, exception number entered plus number, negative number entered, throw new illegal argument exceptions, negative number entered and plus number. And now system.out.print entered plus number, and now there will be a catch. This will be catch if you throw a positive number, the illegal argument exception, which is this one, this argument exception. This will check, this is the exception handling class, so it will check this exception handling class, this plus the message e object of our class, object of our result. System.out.println error plus e dot get message, whatever it will throw exceptions, that it will throw, that will be the message, for us. Yeah. And catch exception, suppose if there was the exception like if we are entering something different of kind of object, like in a string or something like that, they are the exception, invalid input dot e dot get message. And now finally blocks is also there, finally finished, it will finish the program and scanner dot close. So we will run this program and find out the output. And running this program, it is asking for enter a positive number. Suppose we are entering 4. Yeah, you entered 4, program finished. It is showing us the program finished, but it's not a negative number, and it's negative input checker. It was a negative input checker. This is the program of negative input checker. If you will enter negative, then it will ask for, definitely tell something. Suppose we have entered positive number as 4, and you enter 4. This program is finished. Now we'll enter a negative number. This program is running. Now negative 4. Yeah. Error. Yeah. There is an exception. There is an exception. Yeah. So error negative number entered. Error negative number entered. If this was the exception over here. Yeah, yeah, here. It is showing that if the number is below zero, it will throw an error. This argument catches the exception and it shows that there is error, and the negative number entered is -4. Negative number entered is -4. Now we will be throwing. Suppose we will be entering a string values. Suppose we will have entering null. Yeah. Hmm. Invalid input. This will catch an exception. This will catch exception. This will catch exception, and the respective message will be displayed. So it caught the exception. Invalid input, null, and the program finished because finally runs anyhow. So on this we got to know about different things about exceptions. Exceptions are the files that needs to be handled because they cause the hindrance in the because these always cause the hindrance in our further programming. So we need to try to handle it. So thank you.